Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are reviewing The Northman, directed by Robert Eggers and starring Alex Skarsgard, Anya Taylor-Joy, Ethan Hawke and Nicole Kidman. The Northman tells a fictional tale of a young Viking who goes out to seek revenge for the death of his family. But before we go any further, don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button if you haven't already, and be sure to give us a follow on Instagram so that you can get access to further content, tournaments, polls, and even choose what I review. And of course, we thank you if you do. This is actually quite a hard review to do because I loved this movie so much it kind of left me speechless. And that's not great when you need to do a movie review of it. But I was just captivated, overwhelmed, and even a little bit blindsided by how epic and phenomenal this movie is. The scale of this thing is jaw-dropping. It's enormous. Every little detail is perfection. Even the snow falls beautifully. Like they have not missed a beat with this movie. The sets, the locations, the weather, the colouring, the outfits, the hairstyle. I mean, it is superb. It's a very hypnotic movie that will just put you in a trance and you will find yourself in tune with this movie. It dances to a very strange beat and yet it somehow gets you to just go along with it and fully immerse yourself in it. It's kind of like someone put something in your tea and before you know it, you're away with the fairies. Because this film is really strange and understandably so, but it totally works. It's awesome. Some of the cinematography and some of the dream sequences throughout. I loved it. It's going to be a lot of that. It's a lot of me gushing over how fucking superb The Northman really, really was. And I was worried because I love Robert Eggers. He's one of my current, I don't really know how you'd say it, a breakthrough director. He's on my ones to watch list. I've seen The Witch, I've seen The Lighthouse. I adore both of them. This absolutely tops both of those, if you ask me. And that's no easy feat. I was a little bit concerned going into this movie because yes, it is about Vikings. Vikings are very mainstream. A lot of people just, you see people getting Viking tattoos without even understanding what the tattoo even means. They're quite cool. And when you look at the advertising for this trailer, it looks so un-Robert Eggers, is the only way I can say it. It looks really mainstream. It looks really bland, actually, because it's just another mock-up poster of people all piled up on top of each other with a weird quote like, "Discover your fate." And it's like, seen this before, haven't we? And in my mind, I was sort of watching these trailers like, has Robert Eggers sold out? Has he just sort of given up on being this Picasso of filmmaking and he's just decided, I'm just going to make the slash and bash and hour movies now? Because I didn't want that from him. I wanted him to continue to be a Picasso. Thankfully, genuinely thankfully, the trailers are very clearly just trying to get more of a crowd in for what the movie actually is. Because if the trailer for what the actual movie is existed, I bet none of you would go and see it. It would look weird. And strangely enough, that's the exact type of trailer that would have got me into it even more. Cuckoo. I was driving home from the cinema and asking myself to find a flaw with this. Is there anything that you really didn't like? Because it's a long movie. Did you struggle with the pacing? No, not really. There was a little bit of downtime here and there, but it was so quick and over before you knew it. We're straight back into the action. If anything, I thought the pacing was incredible for such a long movie. Did you attach to all the characters? Yeah, generally speaking. The ones I needed to attach to, I cared. And when Revelations came out, I felt it. Do you want to see it again? Fuck yeah. That's the silliest question I could have possibly asked. Absolutely, I want to see this again. I want the Blu-ray, I want the 4K, I want the deleted scenes. Give it to me. I really did push myself to try and find something negative to say about this movie. And the biggest stretch, and I'm talking this, I'm reaching here, my mildest complaint is that the story is somewhat very resemblant of Hamlet. If you know Hamlet, you are going to have a lot of Hamlet moments in the movie, but that's fine if I'm being honest. Hamlet's a very good story. Yeah, it's been done to death and recycled and done a billion times, but I actually liked how they did it here. They didn't disregard any of the story beats. They accepted that that's what they were going to do, and they absolutely dived into it and explored it, and they really did hit some of the emotional beats that they needed to with it, and I thought it worked perfectly. Even in my complaints, I kind of found it to be a positive. That's how much I loved this movie. As I mentioned, there are these sort of drug-induced scenes that are very trippy, very out of nowhere. Sometimes the film cuts and changes location and you're not entirely sure how we got there or what exactly happened in the time between. There is a lot of references and metaphors to the gods above of old and Odin and Fenrir and all those sort of characters. But not all of you are going to know these things, and it is going to expect you to know it. So if you don't know about Viking lore, the gods, the Nordic gods, you might not connect with this film. The music and the sound design, absolutely insane. When there was whispering, I mean, maybe it might have just been my position in the cinema because I was on the back row, but when you heard these whispers and things like that, like secret chanting, I swear to God, it was like someone was literally whispering it behind my shoulder. I kind of wanted to go, hey, steady on. Performances, top drawer. A lot of people have question marks over Alex Skarsgard. I believe he was Tarzan, and people didn't like that movie, but I have to hold my hands up and say I never saw it. I still haven't seen it. My biggest memory of it was that my flatmate at the time went to go and see it, and he came back and went, well, that was a load of shit. If he didn't like it, chances are I wasn't going to, so I just gave it a miss. That being said, I thought he was superb here. He really knew how to find the emotion of the character, and he also really brought the aggression to the forefront. I felt his fury and his wrath. He felt like a mad Viking, and he delivered it perfectly. I even really liked Ethan Hawke in it, actually. I wasn't sure if I was going to buy him as a Viking, but it actually really worked. This is so epic, so realised, so complete as well. Like, there's no strings hanging at the end for you to worry or wonder about or think about maybe how this ends up in 10 years' time. No, you get the start of the story, you get the meat, you get the gravy, you get the vegetables, you get the dessert, and you get the cup of tea afterwards to wash it all down and go, that was a delight. Robert Eggers, you have absolutely knocked this one out the park, and I am going to give The Northman, without any hesitation, a 10 out of 10. Thank you for watching this review. Please be sure to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button, and please be sure to hit the comment section as well. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you on the next review.